have ADHD, it is hard to tell when you're being gaslighted. We are known for processing emotions wild and slow. We perceive social cues in a slower phase than the neurotypicals. However, this doesn't mean that we can spot them. Okay, so take 5 of my fourth episode and the second installation of my relationship series, and we are talking about gaslighting. I have decided to create this podcast about gaslighting because it's gonna be hard for people who have ADHD to spot or determine if you are being gaslighted by somebody, especially if you respect that person so much, or if may authority figure kang ginagaslight ka. So, all right, this is going to be a very hard topic to discuss because um I have been gaslighted for the rest of my life. And I have just learned a year ago that gaslighting is a form of emotional manipulation and abuse. Because ang outcome ng gaslighting is that person wants for you to question your sanity. In a Filipino context, yung pinakakilalang konteksto ng gaslighting is when our parents say na hindi nila sinabi yung mga hurtful words na sinabi nila, even though you know that you have heard it and you were hurt by it. Pero kapag binrot up mo sa kanila to, ang sasabihin nila, hindi ko naman sinabi yan eh. That's gaslighting, people. For the rest of my life, I have experienced that. And honestly, it has led me to depression. I will not sugarcoat anything about this topic. So, all right. For people who did not know what gaslighting is, it is words. These are the words or statements that made you question your reality, emotions, pain, and suffering. It is designed to invalidate what you felt or invalidate your emotions. All right. So, for example, um, paano ba? Sorry guys, ang hirap talaga na, ang hirap mag-come up ng example kasi there's like, I have to recall everything that has happened to me. Sabihin na lang natin na you were hurt by somebody you trust. May sinabi sila or nag-comment sila sa'yo about your work or about your emotions. Sabihin nila na you're being too emotional. And then, when you talk to them about it, they will say hey, that's not what I meant. Just want you to improve, blah, 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 blah. They're not being accountable for the hurt that they have caused. And they don't admit to that. They invalidate your emotions, your feelings, your stand on some things, your reality. And that's already considered as gaslighting. So, for example, okay, when you approach somebody to unload your financial problems, gaslighters would probably say, you're lucky you still have roof above your head. And that's already gaslighting people or invalidation. Or when you became a little bit too emotional about things, they say you're too emotional. Toughen up. So, yun yung para naman napakabigat ng problema mo, buti nga may kinakain ka pa eh. Or, nako, depressed ka pa dyan, kumpleto nga ang buhay mo, aircon ka pa. Kung may trabaho ka naman, may jowa ka naman, ba't ka nade-depress? Bakit ka pa made-depress? Ganun po ang ibig sabihin ng gaslighting at invalidation. Pero we're talking about gaslighting more in this podcast. I have experience na may sinabi sa akin and may nakarinig na sinabi sa akin yon. Pero nung kinonfront ko yung taong yun, nung sabi, hindi daw niya sinabi yon. That happened to me, guys. And it's really hard kasi actually I told that person who stood up for me na kung wala siya, hindi niya narinig yon, I might question my own reality. Kasi isipin mo, para kang pinaprank. Ganon yung pakanamnam. Para kang pinaprank ng mga tao sa paligid mo at sasabihin nila na hindi naman totoo yung nangyari sa'yo. Ganon yung pakiramdam ng gaslighting. Hindi ko rin alam kung, I don't know why people do this, pero kahit na may ADHD tayo, guys, may ways, okay, for us to determine and spot if you're being gaslighted or not. And I have two things that I will share with you. For people who have ADHD, we are having a hard time making decisions kasi hindi natin natatandaan yung mga past experiences natin. And we also fail to see yung pwedeng mangyari if we do that decision. Ang tawag doon is hindsight and foresight. That's why yung decision makings natin talagang palinghado. Kasi wala tayo nun. Wala tayong ganong sense na parang we are living nung araw lang na yon. Hindi natin natatandaan kung, for example, that person, we love them so much and may ginawa sila sa'yo. And, we're a forgiving bunch of people. Pag ginawa nila ulit yon, hindi natin natatandaan yung mga nangyari noon. And, for example, if a person already broken your trust and months has passed by or years has passed by, and then there's something na parang kailangan mo sila pagkatiwalaan ulit. Ang gagawin mo, pagkakatiwalaan mo sila ulit without really remembering what happened or without being careful na, hey, this person is not trustworthy anymore. And that's also included in people who have ADHD. And actually, guys, it's not just an issue of focus. It's not just an issue of impulsivity, but it's also an issue of strong decision making. Wala nga kasi tayong hindsight and foresight. Wala tayong view of the past and wala rin tayong view of the future. So, all right, since we're talking about gaslighting, and also that's gonna be a problem for if you are not really good in retaining or being careful if something happened in the future or in the past and you don't want that to happen in the future. I have actually devised a way on how I can spot if I'm being gaslighted or not. And actually, this just recently happened to me. By the way, I had this client na sikat na designer. I'm not gonna say saan. Pero hindi siya Pinoy. And then, at first, hindi ko talaga siya nasa-spot kasi maybe it's just a language barrier, I say. Baka hindi yun yung ibig niya sabihin. See, I'm already also invalidating myself. And then, what I did was, I journaled or I have written everything in my journal. The what, where, why, who, and how of what happened. Like I have to record my reality para kapag kailangan kong gumawa ng decision in the future, I will just take a look again at my journal and I will be reminded of what happened. And if you do that constantly, you don't have to write several paragraphs, but you can just write it in a bullet point of what happened, the 4 W's and an H as they call it. It will help you to record and see a pattern, and especially for people who have ADHD, it's really helpful for you to write everything. You don't have to be organized, guys. You don't have to be organized. You don't have to have a very good handwriting as long as you can read it. It's good. Or if you don't want to write, you can type. Type it out. Or if you have that trusted somebody, like a best friend, a lover, a boyfriend, a husband. For me, for example, I'm really grateful for my husband who's relaxing at my back. In my back right now. Actually, my husband is my soundboard. So whenever I try to process things, I always talk to him. And kahit na parang paulit-ulit, kahit paulit-ulit na lang, lagi siyang nakikinig. And I'm really grateful for that. Kasi, pag lalo kong kinukwento yung isang bagay, lalo kong nakikita yung pattern eh. And, me, for example, I'm clinically diagnosed with ADHD. So, yun. nakikita ko yung pattern. So, kahit siya mismo ang nag-warn sa akin. And talagang parang ang kabayong may, Loves, ano na nga tawag doon sa suot ng kabayo? Ano? Ano? Tapaoko. Ewan ko, parang gayon. Para tayo may mga kabayo may tapaoko. Yon, na diretso ang tingin. So, yun guys. This is a really hard topic, to be honest. Kasi it's emotional manipulation eh. And as people who have this condition, one thing that I suggest is, you know, um, be more sensitive, be intentional on being more sensitive about gaslighting, quote unquote. And yeah, actually, Ritalin won't help you with this, but therapy can. I really suggest that if you can afford, go to a therapist who have expertise in CBT or DBT, but apparently we don't have that in the Philippines yet. I mean for DBT. So, okay. Actually, this is not gonna be complete because for gaslighting to be in a proper context and how you can avoid it, I'm gonna discuss that on my next episode, which is boundaries. That's going to be very good kasi actually I just I yeah, there's a post in our group, in our Facebook group, Adulting with ADHD Philippines, na sinasabi niya na yung boss daw niya is ina-add daw siya sa Facebook and ayaw niyang i-accept. So, yes, we are going to talk about boundaries. And I hope this podcast has helped you. Kahit feeling ko, hindi masyadong maganda yung pagkaka-explain ko. Pero, yeah, see you in the next episode.